Can you please state your name and what you are to me, to the
I'm
video?
Estela Garza. My maiden name was Reyes. I'm Darius' grandmother.
Okay. There's obviously a big change from when you went to school back then, as in how I'm going to school now. Being Hispanic, how was it back then as it is to now, going to school?
First of all, that we didn't have so many white people.
Uh-huh.
There's more local Hispanics.
Uh-huh.
It's a big difference now.
As in, there's not a lot of white people now. There's maybe 20 in my class, maybe even less. There was even less than that back then?
Yes, less.
Okay.
And we didn't have any problems with them.
Mm-hmm.
Or they didn't have any problems with us either.
They didn't mind? They didn't think that there was a racial divide?
Like they were better than us?
Uh-huh.
No.
It was just good every day? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else in difference in being Hispanic?
Hispanic? I work with bilingual kids,
Mm-hmm.
so there is a big difference. Not in, we see it a lot outside in the playground. Recently we had a problem with girls calling our bilingual girls Mexicans,
Uh-huh.
or the Spanish girls. And I
Mhm.
said, you don't call them the Spanish girls, you call it Mr. Aguilar's class or Miss West's class, because they're bilingual. You don't call them by the Spanish or the Mexican girls, because
Mhm.
a lot of us are Mexicans.
Yes. Uh-huh. But they treat it as in they're from Mexico.
Because
so
they're from Mexico.
they're different.
They feel they're different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now there's a lot of differences when you went to school and when I'm going to school now. What do you think are a couple big differences between, as in right now than to back then going to school?
I feel that there's more. I feel like there's more. The kids nowadays have to do a lot of their independent work at home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
As you mean back then you didn't really have a lot of homework?
we didn't have a lot of homework. It was, the way I see it, was easy homework.
Uh-huh.
Nothing like now that's the math and writing in the journals or looking for information,
Yeah.
making reports. Our reports back then was very easy. We just read a book and write a little paragraph and that was it.
Uh-huh.
It's,
Okay.
and I feel that nowadays the work, a lot of the kids' work, it's hard for the parents to help them.
Yeah. Because you mean that because the work is so different.
Than from back then, the way the math is worked out.
Mm-hmm.
The parents nowadays know how to do the way the math was back then. So it's different. So if the kids are not focusing or paying attention in the classroom, and then they take the work home, it can be hard for them to do it. Because it's the work is hard. Sometimes it's hard.
Okay. You said you teach bilingual kids. Do you think the bilingual kids, as in the classes they were taught and the opportunities they have today, was that the same when you were growing up?
Nope, not at all. They have more. Our bilingual kids have more. I'm gonna say opportunities to learn more.
Yeah.
Than back then. Especially using all the electronics that we have.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Electronically, how do you think there's been such a big jump and divide because of electronics and technology?
Technology?
Yes.
In what way?
As in, our kids are so much different now because of technology. Why do you think that is?
It is different because of technology.
Uh huh.
I mean, you don't see a lot of kids now using a lot of paper and pencil. Everything is done in technology.
Yeah.
And I feel sometimes you need that also to use, especially the writing. Because now, if you want to write a paper, you have also that word perfection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, really, yeah.
Um, I know this year I've been taking AP classes, because I'm a junior and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it is done online. The first part, did you have that kind of classes when you were going to high school?
Mm.
And the second part is, how would you do it without the technology?
Back then, we didn't have any technology at all.
And
The only technology we had was a typewriter, an electrical typewriter. That was about it. So,
Okay, but were the classes there?
what do you mean?
The dual and AP classes, was that a thing?
Back then, they didn't have any dual classrooms.
They didn't?
They just had the, what would you call it? The advances class.
Mm-hmm. The advanced.
It was just geometry. They didn't have any pre-AP classes.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't offer nothing like that.
Okay.
So it was easier to make a better grades than now.
Okay. Last thing. I know because of the influence on the island, kids now are more, I guess, spoiled than we were back then, because there wasn't really a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel as if kids are because of what they've built around us, are more spoiled and less hardworking than it was back then?
And spoiled in what? That they don't have to work?
In that way, something like that.
Oh, a lot of them because they want to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
going to different places back then.
Yeah.
I mean, the summer was to work.
Yeah.
And back then, we didn't have a lot of places to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And now, there's a lot of different, especially at the island, go
Yeah.
to, and a lot of them, they want to work. They don't want to work because they want to enjoy the beach or going here and there. There's more activities now at the beach.
So back then, if you wanted to enjoy life, you really had to work hard to get out, and you feel as if they don't really have that now because
Right.
they have it all here.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for helping with my project.
You're very welcome.